Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7 of NiC's Entertainment Talk. Today we were supposed to be talking about some of my favorite Western movies, but I happened to see Mulan over the weekend. I got to see that, and I feel that it'll probably be more interesting for me to talk about that movie in particular and some other Disney remakes, and how I feel about some of the Disney remakes as a whole. I'll kind of go over some of them. Mulan, let me just start off by saying this. If you are a huge Mulan fan, it's one of my favorites. I gotta admit, I love Mulan. I love the classic 1997 cartoon film. But if you're a huge Mulan fan of the old Disney classic, you are not gonna like the remake whatsoever. They changed it up a whole lot, and what I did, I try to critique the film as its own individual movie. I didn't try to compare it as, I scrapped whatever I had in my head of the original Mulan movie and then just kind of critique it on it. I just critiqued it on its own. Okay, if that makes sense. But yeah, so what happened is they took a lot of things out from the original movie. So, as a individual film, thinking about it as that, I don't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was pretty decent. The message is there, from the original movie, and but it wasn't a bad film. I was watching it and I did enjoy it. I felt like, I felt like they could have done a little bit better with the pacing. I don't know why Disney tries to keep it at that 2-hour mark. I understand that people's attention span are a little low, but you got to think Avengers Endgame was 3 hours long, right? And the highest grossing movie ever, and it was a 3-hour movie. So I don't think that Disney should try to worry about as far as time. Because I felt like a lot of pacing was off, and they try to smush a lot of stuff in there, and that's the thing that I don't agree with a lot of the Disney remakes, is that they try to rush the film. Clearly when you're not doing a cartoon, there's a lot of, because a cartoon is for children, obviously, to enjoy. So you kind of have to pace the movie a little bit faster. But as far as a live action remake, I feel like you could do a little bit more with the pacing, and that's the problem that I have. They try to keep it under the 2-hour mark, but I feel like if they go 2.5 hours long, nobody would mind. Who doesn't love sitting there watching a good and long movie, especially when it's a movie like this, a Disney remake. I feel nobody would have a problem with that at all. I would love to see, a long Disney remake movie, as long as it's done right and the pacing's good and the story's there, everything, I have no problem with that. But Disney, I could see a lot of pacing issues inside the Mulan movie. But other than that, Disney has no problem making the movie look beautiful. The set pieces, the costumes, the CGI, everything, it's beautiful. They have that. I can never complain about the CGI or the sets or costumes or anything. Every Disney movie that I've seen, especially with the Marvel franchise, I have never. They're very good looking films, especially the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So I thought Mulan was a very good looking film. It was beautiful to look at. I saw it in 4K, so it was awesome. But the story's there and everything. Like I said, a lot of things are different, but all in all, it was a pretty good film, and I enjoyed it. And I tried my best not to compare it to the cartoon. Of course, you're bound to do that. It's in our nature. But as Disney fans, it's in our nature. But yeah, recently Disney has been doing pretty crappy as far as Disney remakes, you know what I mean, of the classic films, especially with Aladdin and The Lion King. I thought they did terrible. First off, with Aladdin, the main guy who played the main actor who played Aladdin, I thought was just terrible. I thought he was I could see him in a movie that goes straight to DVD, well, straight to Netflix now, or like a movie that gets kind of pushed in the back, like nobody really cares about it. I feel like he's an actor for that kind of movie, and I thought they did a horrible job casting him as the main actor. I did not see him as Aladdin at all. I thought he was a terrible choice. As far as like Will Smith for Genie, I thought Will Smith did the best that he could, with his abilities. And Jafar, it was just that actor too, just threw me off. I don't know, the way his voice, Jafar's voice in the cartoon movie was like a lot deeper and stronger, and you were a little, he kind of scared you, the way he would talk. The same thing with Scar in the Lion King classic. His voice was deep and like would talk like this. Oh, Simba. Anyways, but yeah, it just threw me off, and they try to modernize the whole Aladdin thing instead of taking you back in time. They try to, yeah, like even with the music, they try to modernize everything, and it's like they didn't have to do that. They could have just kept it original, of how it was back then. A lot of things threw me off, and the pacing as well in Aladdin was terrible. I thought like everything was just like. It just felt awkward, the movie, like some of the things, and a lot of, I thought Will Smith did pretty good with the comedy, but he's known for that. He's known for like comedy, and he does a really good job with that. But as far as like everybody else in there, like it was Jasmine's little assistant or whatever, she was in there, and I felt like her character was not needed at all, and I thought it was kind of dumb how they made the genie end up with her. I don't know. I didn't like the film. The pacing was terrible. The main actor was terrible. I mean, he was a good singer. I can't deny that. He's a good singer. What else? Naomi Scott, she did actually a decent job. And, she looks like Jasmine, and she looks like a princess, but I don't know. Other than that, I didn't like the film. I thought it was rushed horribly. I thought the writing was terrible. But yeah, I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. That's how I feel. I mean, but like I mentioned, it looked beautiful. The set pieces and everything were beautiful. Costumes and everything, the colors, everything in there was top notch. Disney, you cannot top Disney when it comes to that. Let's talk about Lion King. Lion King, I had another pacing issue. It's just, like I said, I don't know why they try to keep it beneath, below the 2-hour mark. I don't know why Disney does that. They don't have to limit themselves to that. I don't think they have to worry about keeping the attention span, because the CGI, the world within the Lion King movie was just unbelievable. It was amazing to look at, and it would throw me off, like, holy crap, is this real or not? And the whole thing was CGI, and it was amazing. It was beautiful to look at, and I don't know why they're worried about getting really in depth with the character, and even the musical scores were kind of awkward to hear. Like, I don't know, it was just, I don't know what it is. It seems like they were like, okay, we got to get this movie done right away. Let's go. We got to get this $1 billion, But yeah, like I said, I think, yes, I understand they're trying to make money, blah, blah, blah. It's Hollywood, whatever, but it doesn't hurt to make it a good movie. You got to think about this too. Like, if the movie's that good, people will have no problem going and seeing it again. Freaking Endgame was 3 hours long, and I think I saw it twice in theaters. I had no problem seeing it twice. That was the thing with a lot of movies. I don't know, maybe because I'm a movie freak or whatever, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of people would not mind going and paying to go see a movie twice if it's that good. You know what I mean? A lot of people did that with Avatar, especially when they have re-releases. So I don't know. Like, I think Disney should concentrate on that, on getting more in depth and concentrating on the pacing, because that was another thing in the Mulan movie. Like, when she was making that decision to step up to the plate and to go and join the army and everything, go and serve, that was in the original. I remember it was like a big step. It was like a thing they elaborated on, and with the live action remake, I felt like they didn't really care to like show how important that decision was that she was making, and like that whole transition. I felt like they didn't take their time with it as they should have, because that's a very crucial moment in the film. But okay, we'll get off of Lion King. We'll jump over to one of the more decent Disney remakes, in my opinion, was The Jungle Book. And I feel like a lot of people can agree with me with it's one of the better remakes. I absolutely had no problem with this film. Like, the pacing was pretty well done. Everything was there. You kind of got in depth with the characters. And I really have nothing negative to say other than, it could have been a little bit longer, and, I would have definitely liked to see more of Baloo. I thought he was great. I thought, the CGI and everything was amazing, and I think that's where it started right there was, The Jungle Book, where they figured, hey, we could do animals and we could do them very well, so. And that was Jon Favreau. He also did Lion King, and that's when I thought, okay, we don't have to worry. Jon Favreau has the Lion King in his hands. But then again, that only goes to show, how much control he really has, and he's very limited, as a director, within the Disney franchise, until they're like, okay, let's give him control of The Mandalorian, and look at that show. Nominated for I think 10 Emmy Awards, So anyway, so I think Disney's kind of getting the hint of, okay, let's actually not give the fans what they want, but let's give them at least a satisfying, representation of the movie, that they care so much about. Because I feel like with the classic Disney cartoons, it's a very sensitive topic. It's like getting into politics or freaking religion, because a lot of people grew up, my generation especially, grew up on these movies, So I think it's a delicate and sensitive situation, when you talk about these movies. My personal favorite is Hercules, so I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with that. I strongly hope they don't F it up. Another one that I'm excited for is Bambi. Bambi, I think, will be amazing to look at, because they got that down. They got that CGI down, the computer animation, whatever you want to call it. They got it down, okay? So I'm pretty excited to see that. And the thing is, the reason why I'm excited for Bambi is because it's a dark story. And I think Disney does really good with dark themed situations. So Captain America Civil War, that the ending and everything of it was kind of dark. How when Tony found out that Bucky killed his parents, that was pretty dark scene in the movie, and they did very well with it, and I think it gives the actors a chance to shine, so I think it gives, the voice actors, within that movie, it'll give them a chance to shine and be able to get in depth with it. Another thing that Disney did well with as far as dark themed situations was Infinity War. Thanos won, and that was it. The heroes lost, and that was, I thought, Infinity War, I thought it was probably the best Marvel movie out there because of that. Because it was dark, and it was just Thanos going through everybody within the Marvel universe and not taking no for an answer, pushing his way through. And that was the most interesting thing that I saw Marvel do, because it was the enemy winning. It was the enemy getting what he wants. And, yeah, it's horrible to think of, in real life, but it was so interesting. And it was so crazy to finally see that within a Marvel film, and that's why I think, Disney should get on the dark theme trend, you know. So I think Bambi would be a one to be a remake that'll be good because it's kind of dark, you know, and it's sad. But I think it'll be great. Another movie that I thought Disney did pretty good with, as far as like a remake, was Beauty and the Beast. I thought it was decent. Belle did a good job. Emma Watson, she did an amazing job. Dan Stevens with Beast, he did a very good job. And I have no complaints. Everybody, the CGI, like I said, it's always beautiful. The whole Gaston freaking that musical number, that was amazing. In the film, that whole scene when they're singing in the bar, Gaston, I thought it was amazing. I thought, like, compared to the movie and everything, I think it was personally better than the cartoon when they did that whole scene, because it was live and like it was, the way they did it was very creative, and they took their time with it. That whole scene was long too, I remember, but it was so entertaining. I didn't even care. But yeah, that was another movie that I thought they did well, and that's another thing is Beauty and the Beast is kind of a dark story. It's a freaking monster holding this village girl prisoner, and not letting her go. Kind of a messed up story if you really think about it. It's like this beast falls in love with the prisoner, and she's but it's kind of cool, I guess, because he's not like, well, I guess he is doing it against her will, huh? Holding her prisoner. But anyways, it's the effed up story. Shit. But damn, but it was good. It was entertaining. It held up. It held up to the original, definitely. And the musical numbers, they weren't very awkward at all. Emma Watson did amazing. Dan Stevens did amazing. With the whole, I think it was an added on soundtrack, from the Beauty and the Beast Broadway show. The whole Beast song. I don't know what it's called. I should have looked it up. But I thought that whole musical number was amazing too. All in all, that they did pretty well. What happened? I don't know what happened. Freaking Disney was going up on their remakes. Everybody, agreed that they were pretty decent. Hadn't nothing, not much negative to say about them. And then they started going downhill whenever Aladdin hit. That's when they started going downhill. And then The Lion King came out, and I was like, crap. Well, there's two amazing stories that are going downhill. But yeah, that's how I feel. Like I said, with The Little Mermaid, Cruella coming out, Hercules and Bambi, Pinocchio, they're developing. I'm excited. I'm excited to see them because they're movies that I grew up on, and do I feel they need a remake? No, absolutely not. But I mean, why not? It makes movies. It makes money. It makes a lot of money for Disney. But it's also cool to see something that you grew up on. It's also cool to see it in live action. The cartoons and everything. It's like it'd like be a good idea. I don't know if you guys are fans of the show Ed, and Eddie. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me. But anyways, Ed, and Eddie. That'd be cool to see it like a live action remake. That'd be hilarious, and it'd be interesting, But I'd be excited because it's my childhood, But yeah, I'll kind of wrap it up right there about the whole Disney remake. On Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to post only because I have family coming over, so I'm going to be busy with them. But I'll for sure post 2 episodes on Friday, kind of make up for it, and on as far as like Wednesday, I don't know what I'm gonna do for as far as shows, but on Friday I know for sure. Well, I mean for TV. Anyways, for Friday for video games, I'm gonna do like remakes or remastered, whatever they want to call it. But I'll go over some of the games that have been remastered and what I think about them, and if they're necessary or not, But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you guys want to see Mulan, if you haven't seen it yet, I would probably wait for for it to be able to be streamed on Disney Plus. You know, you can watch it now, but you got to pay like an extra $30 and able to see it. But I would hold off, you know, especially if you're big fans of Mulan. I would recommend you not to watch the movie, only because it's absolutely nothing like the original. Only, you know, just the main plot is there of her like a female going and joining the military, stepping up, you know, not taking shit from nobody. You know, that's probably the only thing that's very similar. You know, other than that, everything is pretty much different. So yeah, just warning you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will be back with you guys with 2 episodes on Friday, okay? So look out for those. Thank you.